Welcome to our channel today. We're highlighting a range of Trump supporters, from small grassroots groups and communities to major organizations, services, and even international figures and countries that have shown their backing. Let's dive into the diverse coalition supporting Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign has garnered support from a broad coalition of conservative groups, Republican lawmakers, and diverse communities. His key backers include prominent Republican figures like Governors Greg Abbott and Kristi Noem, conservative organizations, and influential media personalities. Trump also draws support from specific minority segments, such as Cuban Americans, some African Americans, and LGBTQ+ conservatives like log cabin Republicans.
As his campaign progresses, Trump aims to solidify this base while expanding outreach to diverse and working-class voters.
Catholic-led organizations. Groups like Catholic Vote and Catholics for Catholics have expressed their backing for Trump. These organizations focus on conservative values like pro-life policies and religious freedom. Catholic Vote has been active in mobilizing Catholic voters for Trump through events and political advertising.
Military veterans. A significant portion of U.S. veterans, about 61%, support Trump in the 2024 election. Veterans tend to align more with the Republican Party, and many believe Trump's policies would improve conditions for veterans.
Evangelical Christians. This group remains a strong supporter of Trump, largely due to his stance on issues like abortion, religious freedom, and conservative judicial appointments.
Celebrity endorsements. Various public figures, including musicians, actors, and other celebrities, have voiced their support for Trump, often appearing at his rallies or publicly endorsing him through social media.
Republican lawmakers. Many incumbent Republicans have rallied behind Trump, including 162 members of the U.S. House of Representatives and 33 U.S. senators. Some Republican governors, such as Greg Abbott of Texas, Kristi Noem of South Dakota, and Ron DeSantis before he entered and withdrew from the 2024 race, have also endorsed him.
Political organizations. Trump enjoys support from various state-level Republican parties, including the Oklahoma and Arkansas GOPs, along with conservative groups and radio hosts across the country. Prominent conservatives, high-profile conservative figures, such as radio host Eric Erickson and Pennsylvania Senate candidate David McCormick, have also voiced their support for Trump. Notably, McCormick received Trump's endorsement in the 2024 Senate race, despite past tensions.
Labor unions. Some labor unions, like the United Mine Workers of America, have also shown support, reflecting Trump's appeal to working-class voters in specific industries. Donald Trump has garnered support from some segments of diverse communities, although his base remains predominantly conservative and largely white. Here are a few key groups from diverse communities that have endorsed or expressed support for Trump. Trump has managed to maintain some backing within the Latino community, particularly among Cuban Americans in Florida. His policies on economic growth and strong anti-socialism rhetoric resonate with parts of the Latino population, especially those with roots in countries affected by socialist regimes. In 2020, Trump received 38% of the Latino vote, and he is working to maintain that base for 2024.
While Trump's overall support among African Americans remains low, he has been endorsed by figures such as Pastor Darrell Scott, an African American pastor and co-founder of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. Trump's advocacy for criminal justice reform, including the First Step Act, has also been highlighted by some supporters as a reason for African American backing.
Trump has seen some support among Asian Americans, particularly those who align with his tough stance on China, or those who benefit from his tax cuts and economic policies. However, Asian American support for Trump remains mixed. While Trump has had contentious relationships with the LGBTQ+ community due to certain policy positions, organizations like Log Cabin Republicans, a group of LGBTQ conservatives, have endorsed Trump. They cite his tax policies and pro-business stance as reasons for their support.
While foreign governments officially do not endorse candidates in U.S. elections, certain countries and their leaderships have shown varying degrees of preference or approval toward Donald Trump, based on his foreign policies or rhetoric. Trump's relationship with Russia has been a major point of discussion. Russian President Vladimir Putin has publicly expressed favorable comments about Trump in the past, and Russian state media often presents Trump in a positive light compared to other US politicians. Trump's stance on NATO, his reluctance to criticize Putin, and policies that were perceived as less confrontational toward Russia have led to speculation that Russia might favor his presidency. Trump is highly popular in Israel due to his administration's decisions to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Many Israeli leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during Trump's presidency, appreciated these moves, which strengthened U.S.-Israel relations. While foreign officials typically avoid direct endorsements, many Israelis view Trump favorably for his support of their country.
Saudi Arabia. During Trump's tenure, Saudi Arabia enjoyed a close relationship with the United States, particularly due to shared interests in countering Iran and promoting arms sales. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also known as MBS, had a positive rapport with Trump, especially regarding regional security cooperation and economic interests.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban openly endorsed Trump in the 2020 election, praising his nationalist and anti-immigration stance, which aligns closely with Orban's policies. Orban's government represents a European nationalist faction that supports Trump's approach to sovereignty and immigration. Brazil. Under the leadership of Jair Bolsonaro, who was often referred to as the Trump of the tropics, Brazil shared a strong ideological alignment with Trump. Bolsonaro publicly endorsed Trump during the 2020 election, citing their mutual opposition to leftist policies and globalism. These countries and their leaderships, while not officially endorsing Trump for the 2024 election, have expressed favorable views toward him based on his policies during his presidency. However, official diplomatic protocol often prevents governments from formally endorsing candidates in another nation's elections. Dear fellow Americans, as the November 5th election approaches, I urge you to exercise your most powerful right, your vote. Our nation's future is shaped by the decisions we make today. Voting isn't just a civic duty, it's a chance to influence the direction of our country, to speak up for the values we hold dear, and to ensure that every voice is heard. Your vote matters more than ever in shaping policies, leadership, and the well-being of our communities. Let's come together for a brighter, more united future. Make your voice count. Vote on November 5th. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss our next interesting videos.